And hello, everybody. Merry Christmas Eve. It's Thursday, December 24th, 2015. And what time is it? It's game time. Welcome to episode number 12 of, the 12 Days of Christmas. How perfect. Of John and Ted's excellent Gamecast. I'm your host, Ted Edwards, CEO of RaptorCow, and I'm here as always with Jonathan Nadeau. What's up, John?
Hey, how's it going? Please tell me there is another quarterback or player that had the number 12 besides Tom Brady.
No, Tom Brady is the only one, so you're stuck with that for today. And this whole episode, I'm going to say Tom Brady every 5 minutes. So
no, please don't.
It's going to be the 12 nightmares of Christmas for you. And we're not alone today. We have a guest with us. We have Mitch Cole. What's going on, Mitch?
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Pleasure to be here.
Hey, right on. Good to have you. I'm just gonna let's just get it out of the way since you already dropped the football bomb. What is going on with your Broncos? You guys might just slide out of the playoffs, John.
Dude, I don't even know.
Yeah,
was Osweiler playing against Pittsburgh?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least they put up more than 12 points. So
yeah, I mean, gross. But hey, you remember how we're trying to screen everybody to coming on? We finally we have a football fan here. Hey, Mitch, who's your team?
And I mean, it's unfortunate you're a Broncos fan, John, because my Chiefs are just gonna knock your guys' people out.
Oh
no.
Kansas City Chiefs and Alex Smith. I mean, our running backs are dangerous. I mean, I do feel a lot better now that Peyton Manning's out of the picture. Osweiler hasn't looked so great. What do you got for me?
Ooh, shots fired.
Yeah, he's getting back in his groove. I think he got too cocky taking out the Patriots. So I think reality hit him, and now he's got to pick everything back up, and hopefully we can win these last two games.
For sure, yeah. You have Cincinnati next, right?
Cincinnati next.
Ooh, who do the Chiefs have, Mitch?
What's that? Cleveland Browns, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, John not looking too good, and again, Shauna's probably screaming, pulling her hair out right now at the same time.
I will give Cincinnati. I will give Denver a benefit of the doubt right now. It's my understanding that Cincinnati's out their quarterback with Andy Dalton.
Yeah, he's done.
So, yep. So that's something to look out for. Of course, always with the backup quarterback, if they can get him, get him spooked a little bit. Denver has that defense; they can certainly do it. I don't want them to, but they can do it.
Well, what's KC's record right now?
9-5.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like I said, if Denver drops one of them, and KC wins out, then they're in.
That's the AFC West division.
Denver would have the wild card though, so.
We'll see.
So the Jets are making a comeback.
No, the Jets have a chance too. If the Jets win the next two games, they're in. Yeah.
So what the NFL is talking about is how the Broncos are in a precarious situation where they can go a home bye, they can go a wild card, or they can go not at all. If the cards are played however which way, they are. They're in a precarious situation. They control their destiny. That's the thing. They control their destiny.
We will see. Well, that's not the only thing that's been crazy and weird. I went to see Star Wars this weekend, and no spoilers, though. I'm not going to drop any spoilers. I'm not going to be that guy. But, yeah, pretty cool. There was definitely weirdness.
You got to tell me the rumor that I heard, was that true? We talked about it last week or the week before.
Well, then people will know. We'll talk off air about it.
Okay.
Or I'll just put a big long beep on this part. Beep.
So, Ted, what do you say? I mean, do you give it a thumbs up to people that haven't seen it, or is that something that you say no to?
Well, I don't want to give a thumbs because I didn't want to hear anyone's opinion before I went to go see it. But because I want to go fresh. But yeah, I definitely give it a thumbs up. Yeah, you got to go in expecting. What I will say is. I was talking with the guest last week, Tim Porter, about it briefly, and he said it pretty well. You got to go in expecting that this movie is now made for everybody, so it's a little bit of different feel, but definitely it's worth seeing. So I will say that. So
Okay.
go see it if you have the opportunity. So, but yeah, there's people cheering in the theater, popcorn throwing. It was crazy. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And that was me.
Yeah, that was you. You're that guy.
That was me.
I was the guy throwing some like junior mints at your head, saying, "Shut up, sit down."
Yeah, no, you wasn't getting me to stop.
I know people were excited, and I like that. I always think it's funny when people like clap and cheer in movie theaters. I always think that's a very strange thing. But I do remember distinctly back in 2007 when I was in college, and I was actually my senior year, and I went with the football team. We went to see Transformers in the theater, and when Optimus Prime rolled up and everyone cheered, like the theater erupted. So that was kind of cool. So
When I saw Phantom Menace in the theater when it came out, and it was, towards the end of the movie, when Yoda makes his appearance,
right, everyone cheered then.
Yeah, everyone stood up and went nuts. It was crazy.
And then they booed the movie after it was done.
yeah. I went to the midnight showing too, so all the crazies were out that.
Hardcores. Oh yes.
Mm-hmm. I was there for that midnight showing for all three of the new ones.
Yeah. I
didn't make it to the midnight one on this one. I didn't make it to the midnight release on this one, but I took the kids. I have two children, so I took the kids, and I made sure to introduce them the right way into Star Wars, and they love it.
So did you? Okay, when you had them watch it, did you do the machete order? Did you do the old three first, and then the new three? Did you go chronological?
Of course, they went to the old three first.
Okay, good. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Good.
Yeah.
Okay,
exactly.
Cool. Yeah. Good. Yeah, because there's the machete way. It goes 2. Wait, where's it go? It goes
I've been hearing about
Yeah,
this.
it goes 4, 5, 2, 6, 3. Yeah.
Ooh, that's ugly.
Well, because that way you don't get the reveal too early. Because
I guess.
Yeah, because if you go 1, 2, 3, they reveal Padme when she comes out says Luke and Leia right off the bat. So you're like, oh,
right,
wait,
right.
what? And so then Darth Vader's their dad right away. So you have to see 3 last or 3. See, see, you have to go see number. You have to see Empire Strikes Back first, and then go back to 3, and then go to 6. So yeah, they call that the machete order. So.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah, there you go. There's your little Star Wars factoid. Speaking of movies, too, I do it for a little inspiration from time to time, and I was a little bored. Like I said, I'm bachelor padding it up, and like I said, I work all during the day and taking care of business. And then it's late at night. I'm like, hey, what should I do? I guess I'll watch some movies. But I haven't seen them in a while. But I watched 2 movies to get me in the video game spirit, and you take them with a grain of salt, but they're overall well done. But I watched Indie Game the movie and also Video Games the movie. Those two movies are pretty good. Indie Game the movie is like the kind of documentary
of Super Meat Boy, right?
Yeah, Super Meat Boy and Fez. A little. They focused on the drama a little much, so it's like a little one-dimensional. Like the drama is there, the stress is there, the crazy crybabiness is there. Like if you're honestly, like we've all been there when you're getting overworked and worked hard, and it's crazy, right? And you're like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? You get freaked out, right? Well, they focused on that. So that's obviously one side. So if you're like, oh, let me go watch movies, and you only watch horror movies, you think all movies are horror movies. Well, no, that's not the case, right? So they focused on that a little much, but overall the movie was really good. I've seen it before, but I hadn't seen it in a while. And then I watched Video Games the movie. That was just kind of like a love letter to video games. They could have probably chopped.
So I hadn't heard about that movie. I've actually looked at Indie Game, but I hadn't heard about the video game.
Yeah, it's called Video Games: the movie. It's if you have Netflix, if you click on like Indie Game the movie, it's right below. It's suggestions for you. Here you go. But it's pretty good. They probably could have cut about 20 minutes out of it because they did about 6, 3, 4, 5. 10-minute video game montages where they just show video games being played and put music over it. So they did a little commentary, like the history, and they had a cool little timeline thing going on. But the movie was kickstarted, which is cool. So, but yeah.
Have you ever watched King of Kong?
No, I haven't.
Okay, that's a documentary too about the 2 guys that were battling back and forth between who's the best King Kong player. Donkey Kong.
Oh,
player.
really?
Yeah.
Cool. I'll watch that. Right now I'm watching. I'm finishing up the documentary about Atari.
Oh, nice.
Remember the Atari? That the movie came out in 2014 about like the history of like what happened to E.T., the cartridge that they buried in the landfill. And they're getting to the bottom of it. So it's pretty cool. I like it so far.
I had that game as a kid. It was atrocious.
Yeah, it's the worst game. It's considered the worst video game of all time. Period.
Yeah, it totally is.
Ugh, gross.
I can see why. I mean, I remember that day.
Yeah, gross. Yeah, 1983, and that game single-handedly caused a video game crash. So thank you, E.T., and thank you, Atari. But you know what? It's pretty fine.
We bounced back.
We did like a couple times.
Group.
So yeah, it's all good. So yeah, we have Christmas coming up. What are you guys' plans? Any traditions? What do you guys got? What do you guys get the kids?
I'm gonna go to the beach for Christmas. It's gonna be 70 degrees here on Christmas Eve.
Nice. Welcome to California, where it's been pouring rain here in like 60. You gave us your crap weather, John. Thanks.
Yeah, there you go.
So we're actually where I'm at in Kansas City, Missouri. We're actually lucking out right now. Normally we'd be kind of getting buried in the snow. So we're not buried in snow. It is a little rainy, a little dreary, but I'll take that any day on December, 24th.
Nice.
Wait, you're gonna be buried in Broncos though.
Oh yeah.
Well, we'll just have to see.
Yeah, in your face. Take that.
I mean, I have every bit of confidence when it comes to Alex Smith. When it came to that time when Peyton Manning was on the line, I was so proud of my Chiefs when they stuck with Alex Smith, and hopefully it pays off this year for us.
We'll see. The Chiefs had a rough story, but what are you guys' plans for Christmas? Anything? What do you guys do?
Gaming's tradition here. The kids and I will bust out Nintendo Land on the Nintendo Wii U.
Ooh, nice.
We'll probably play some games of that. We also have some, we also have air hockey game. We'll play some air hockey, too. Not video games, but we'll play some of that. That's our traditions.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Do you guys have like a big dinner or anything, or do anything cool?
So we do kind of an untraditional dinner. We usually maybe have like
pizza,
like
quesadillas.
Italian. Yeah, maybe like Italian, like some spaghetti or sometimes even shrimp.
Nice.
Me myself, I'm always a favorite for maybe a nice nice steak.
Nice.
Yeah, we're having the in-laws over, my sister-in-law, my sister, and usually my wife cooks a bunch of sort of brunchy, breakfasty kind of stuff. So, like blueberry stuffed French toast.
So my flight leaves in like 2 hours, John. Can you make my bed? Make sure that it's.
I'll try.
That sounds good.
She also makes a strata, which is delicious.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what. And also, after you tell me about the Estrada, what is the crazy dessert that she's going to make that you're going to stick your hands in and eat the whole thing again, like you did for Thanksgiving?
I don't know what she has planned for on Christmas Day. I'm not sure yet. She hasn't finalized the menu yet. But Stratas are like they're these. It's a layered kind of breakfast. I don't even know what you would call it, but the bottom of the strata is bread, and you have to let this soak overnight. So the whole bottom is bread, and then you put a bunch of eggs on top of that, and then you put in like potatoes, bacon, sausage.
Oh, nice. It's like almost like a stuffing burrito pie thing.
It's almost like a quiche kind of thing, but you let it sit overnight, and like she has to put like canned goods on top of it, so it all compresses in, and then the next morning she takes out. You have to leave it out for an hour before you cook it. Throw it in the oven. Bam! It's fantastic.
That sounds awesome. Can you freeze dry me a piece and send it? Thanks.
Oh yeah.
That's great.
I don't know what else. I know she had a couple other things planned, but I don't remember what they were. All I know is she's making strata. That's all I care about.
Yeah, that sounds good, man. I'm getting hungry now. Shoot. What'd you guys get the kids? Anything cool?
I can't say.
Okay. Oh yeah. They're running around close by.
Yeah.
Something cool stuff.
The kids. My kids. They did get 2 new tablets. Some of the more affordable ones. I got tired of them messing with mine. So
good dad.
They got that. But they did. They got a couple 3DS games for their 3DS. Then they got a couple different science project type deals and things of that nature that hopefully encourages their mind as much as anything else. That's my hope.
There you go.
No, pollute their mind. No, don't encourage them to learn. Come on, America's already fallen behind in science. There's no coming back now. Let's just give them.
We must.
Yeah. No, I'm just messing. That's pretty awesome. For sure. So we always do this so we know who the third voice on the podcast, so people know who the heck is chiming in with John and I. Give a quick rundown about yourself and who you are real quick, and like your own elevator pitch of who you are, what you do, and so everyone knows who that third guy is.
Yeah, so yeah, of course, as I said, my name is Mitch. I am the owner and CEO of Fanatics Gaming, in which case we have a website in which we do a website, gaming review and articles for all the gaming news. We have a subscriber base, in which case we have subscribers that register for our digital subscription for all the gaming news. And we also have a membership program where we provide our members with discounts on games at Best Buy, discounts at Office Max for the YouTube creators, things of that nature. It's been an exciting time.
Awesome. Very, very cool. So, yeah, that's that. Cool. Yeah, so we're going to move on to a little seasonal segment here that I stuck into the show. John and Ted's excellent Gamecast, Santa's special wish list for games trending in the gaming industry for 2016 list. I'm workshopping the title, sorry about that, but
work in progress.
Work in progress, but so let's go around the horn a couple times. Let's do a little wish list for games like coming out, like what we'd like to see, what is coming out. I think we kind of touched on it last week, John, about games we're excited for, or like things and trends that we'd like to see in the industry for 2016. So this is like direct letter to Santa. So Santa, if you're listening to our podcast right now, which you should be, Santa, while you're doing all your work and toys, tonight, listen to this while you're flying the sleigh.
Okay. You're just flying all around delivering those presents.
Yeah, we're gonna keep you company, Santa. Yeah, make sure you stop by my house twice because I'm greedy. Anyway, so let's start with you, Mitch. Well, what are you thinking? What kind of things do you want to see? We'll just kind of go around a couple of times and see. Let's say what kind of in games specifically. What kind of games do you want to see this year?
So I'm looking forward to obviously whenever Nintendo announces Zelda Wii U. That's one of my last hurrahs for my Wii U, or maybe possibly the next thing for the NX. But also, I'm looking forward to Mighty Number 9. I am looking forward to that.
Mega Man. I'm a Mega Man guy.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm looking forward to that specifically for my Wii U. Just something about Nintendo, Capcom, Mega Man. That's where I want it. That's where I want it for that platform. Obviously, Uncharted 4. That's something that I'm a big Uncharted fan. I haven't even touched any videos for Uncharted 4 or anything like that, just because I want my experience to be fresh.
Yeah, that's what I did with Star Wars. Yep, and I'm doing the same thing with Uncharted as well. I'm a huge Uncharted fan. I got the remastered edition. I'm going to play through that here pretty soon. I could probably bang that out in maybe like 30 hours. So I'll knock that out.
Now, I'm also looking forward to. A lot of people might not know, but I'm into Kickstarter indie games. I backed a game called Shyness, which is an RPG type of game. And it's got a pretty big budget, and it's really developing nicely, and it's expected to come out in 2016. If you want to Google the information, it's called Shyness. If you're an RPG fan, you'll definitely enjoy it, I think. So that's something that I'm looking at. I helped back, so I'm actually waiting for my copy to come in so I can play it and get my hands on it.
That's awesome. Cool, John. I guess since we did the games coming out, what kind of for your side, what kind of trends are you looking forward to 2016 from Santa? So video game Santa.
What's the slated kind of release for the NX? I'm really interested in seeing
20. I mean, crazy. Like if all things line up and the stars align perfectly, 2016. Q4. But they're going to announce at E3.
I want to tend to disagree. And from my experience, just from my belief and the way I'm seeing trend, I believe 2016 is going to be maybe the finale for the Wii U, but at the same time, 2016 might be a great time to present the NX. That's 5 years after the Wii U was debuted, and it's certainly going to give Wii U owners a chance to feel like their Wii U was justified in the purchase, and at the same time maybe move on to the NX. I have actually a lot of friends of mine who are swearing up and down that they because they're Nintendo fans, that the NX isn't going to be an all-out replacement to the Wii U. I happen to disagree. I think it's going to be the next step because that's what investors wanted. But I think they might delay that until 2017. Just to try to give.
That's what I was saying. If all stars align, 2016, but it's probably 2017. Yeah. So
yeah, I know. I'm a hardware junkie, so I'd love this. I'd love to see new hardware come out. So
yeah,
I love the chances Nintendo usually is willing to take. So it'll be nothing short of intriguing to see what they do with the NX.
I think it'll be fun.
I'm the NX should be cool. I'm like I said, I'll pick it up. The thing is, what you mentioned, Mitch, that I totally agree with. It's like that you disagree with your friends how it's not a total departure from the Wii U. That would be absolutely asinine. But I wouldn't put it past Nintendo, because look what they did. They did a half step from the Wii to the Wii U. So. Yep. And it flopped. People. And it flopped. And so, I mean, there's some good games on it, but you're not going to go out and buy a Wii U if you want to play some awesome games. I mean, Mario Maker rocks. Just because there's good titles, a few of them on the platform is not that good. It doesn't have the graphical pushing power. It doesn't have all the things that you want. It doesn't have the third party support.
Oh no!
It has nothing, and it's.
I'm going to have to disagree there. I enjoy my Wii U.
Well, that's okay. Okay, just because you enjoy it does not mean it's not a commercial success, because it's not.
It is not.
It is a flop, a complete flop. And so that being said, for a business to continue down the road and for them to continue to be a player in the industry, they need to take an actual full step, or in their case, like 3 steps. So 2016, they're gonna talk about it at E3. So I guess for me, what I'm looking forward to in 2016, it would be I want to see the battle / teamwork / direction of the VR AR market. I want to see actually what is going to go down and how they position themselves. Because what I'm thinking, personally, from the business standpoint, is you guys know I'm the business guy, and I'm looking at it, it's like, okay, all the players in the VR AR space are very, very wary, right? And so there's not going to be a Nintendo rocks, Sega sucks console war between the two, because they're not going to want to kill the other one, because they need each other, right?
Right.
So I'm interested to see how the teamwork plays out, how it's marketed, how it comes out, how they work off each other, and how they maybe each kind of fill a little space and kind of build and grow together until it grabs a foothold, and then the fighting can start. But definitely 2016 is going to be that, oh, hey, let's all grow up together, and let's all just kind of,
There's going to be a filling out process for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm intrigued to see. I want to see how it's going to play out. I want to see who takes the lead, and the other ones follow along, and they just kind of play nice for a little while. I just want to see how that niceness plays out and who comes out front, because eventually there's going to be some punches thrown, in 2017 when people figure it out, and if it does stick, right? But initially, if they're smart, they don't come out the gate swinging, because that would just be the end of VR, because I don't know. It
could be a misstep if they do something like that with the past attempts at bringing out VR.
Exactly.
It could be something that if a slight miscalculation. I mean, VR is great to imagine, but it's been harder for them to put pen to paper and put that to digital thought. I'm all for it. I'm waiting for them to have it all set up and ready, and and I'm excited to see this. How you're just describing how the competition is going to be filling each other out, and it's going to be kind of a wait and see, perhaps.
Yep. So Santa, video game Santa. That's Santa. What I want. Video games. I want to see them. I want to see VR play nice and to actually take a foothold and see what happens. That's what I want. Video game Santa. So.
Yeah, I think that in 2016, someone needs to finally emerge as the VR platform, because there's too many balls in the air right now.
Yeah.
Like, no one's going to develop for really anything yet, because
they don't know who's it.
And unfortunately, there's going to be like zero teamwork. I think because there's too much at stake. If someone can lock down, the VR / AR realm, then that's a lot of money that they're gonna that's gonna come in. So
yeah, for sure, I agree. Well, it's the end of the year, so not a lot of news, but you guys want to get into some news real quick?
Sure.
Yeah, let's blaze through this real quick. Let's see what we got here. I guess we can come out the gate. We are a little behind, I guess we'd say. A couple days back, this happened end of the week, so just after our podcast came out last week. So we're going to touch on it now. But Riot Games, they're now purchased by Chinese company Tencent. Whoa, full ownership. Tencent Holding Ltd. They're now the full owners of Riot Games, and they don't know. It's been quoted. They are not sure the direction of the company from here on out. It's a quick little press release, but wow, that's That's interesting to say.
That's an interesting move.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Tencent, they're gangsters. I mean, they are G status in the industry. I mean, they distribute like all the HBO, all the NBA, and most of the music record labels in China. They have minority stake in Activision Blizzard. They have 48% share of Epic Games, not to mention all their other properties they do. And so there are no, noobs at this. So,
well, they saw an investment worth taking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. And then they have the capital to do that. Because Riot, they're just making money hand over fist. They already did own a large stake in the company, but now they've taken over and they full owner. So it's
or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. We'll see how that is moving forward. And like I said, the people internally were like, "Hey, we're not sure because we're not, we're not based in China. We've never done business with a Chinese company, so." Who knows how?
It's hard to do business in China if you're a foreign company.
It is.
They have a lot. They have a lot of restrictions, a lot of rules, and loops that you have to jump through.
Oh boy, I tell you what, I lived in China for a while, and yes, this is true.
I've spent time in China as well, and if you want to do business in China, you have to have yourself, a representative in China to help to get all that set up.
Right, for sure. Well,
I wonder if they have plans to do something strictly within China. I mean, you got 1 billion people there to market something to.
Right. Yeah, I think this is more of just like, hey, them taking over, going to now make money. I think they're still obviously going to keep Riot Games here, and because Riot Games is right down the road from me, so they're still going to be here and based in this. But it's just kind of interesting to see like how they move forward going through. But I thought that was pretty interesting. Time will tell, especially with a huge player in the industry. With League of Legends and everything. So, yes, sir.
It's only going to get bigger.
Oh yeah. No, only. So that's a little segue into the next little rung here. So I know, John, your old school 90s basketball, and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So, Rick Fox, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, Rick Fox is kind of jumping on the bandwagon of the esports realm. He just purchased his very own esports team.
No kidding.
No kidding, yeah. So...
Man.
Yeah, he paid $1 million for Team Gravity. It's a North American League of Legends team. There you go.
There you go.
Man.
There's the going rate for
that's a precedence right there.
Yeah, and it's pretty good. He was quoted. Let me see if I can pull this quote. He says, "I see the way that esports world is growing, and I know we're on the verge of something massive." That's what he says. But he's been involved with it for a while. So I guess he's partnered with Twin Galaxies, and you guys know Twin Galaxies, right?
Yeah, that was surprising to hear.
Yeah, he's always done that. I did know that. And a little, John, you'll be interested to hear this, but he donated his 3 NBA championship rings to a fundraiser, Right to Game.
Come on.
Yeah, that fundraiser supports professional gaming and esports, and he donated his rings to that a while back.
Man, Cuban's up next. He's going to buy a team now. He's not going to be out that.
No, Cuban's not buying a team. Cuban is buying a league. Like that's what that fool's going to do. He's going to create his own dang league.
Exactly.
He's nuts. He's just going to unify everything. But okay, here's $1 billion, and let's just create this whole entity. And he's going to buy and attract all the best teams, and they're only going to play in his league. Like, he's going to basically create the Champions League.
Yeah.
But
they have that program coming up here in the summer with the new not the League of Legends, but the new online team the TBS show that's going to be airing for a 6-week special. In which case, it's going to be a big. Have you heard about that?
I
have to do a little bit more research. I should have done a little bit more research. I was reading about that TBS, I believe it is. They're going to be hosting a type of online tournament. It's going to be going on for 6 weeks over the summer. In which case, the cash prize is going to be $1 million.
There you go. To play video games.
The dream is real.
The dream is real. Well, there's nothing different than a little kid like myself going out and playing, and like John playing football and being like, "Ooh, I want to get paid millions of dollars to play football." There's nothing different than that.
Same here.
Or there's nothing different from some person being, John can attest to this too, picking up a guitar, loving a guitar, and being like, "I want to get paid to play guitar."
Right.
So what is different than picking up a video game and wanting to get paid for your passion? There's no difference to me at all. So. Why not? More power to it, and people can knock it because it's an entertainment industry. But actors. You're on screen, you're acting, you're faking like you're somebody else and making movies, and you're getting paid for it. So there's no difference. And so once people realize that there's no difference in that, then it's going to be just readily accepted. So crazy cool. All right, so the three of us have our nice old school connection, right? So we understand the history of games, and most of the people listening understand it. So ColecoVision, it's coming back, baby.
Man, I hope they don't have that awful controller though.
They do. The freaking the sticks are no. They've updated it, right? So it's not the old ColecoVision thing, but what they have done. So I'll give you a little rundown. I don't know if you, Mitch, did you hear? Maybe I want to say it was last summer or last winter. The retro VGS Kickstarter. Yes. Well, that failed miserably. They had a $2 million goal and they only reached 80,000. It was John. I think we talked about it. It was supposed to be I think I sent it to you way back in the day when we were just chatting. I think it was this winter. It's supposed to be a new cartridge-based gaming system.
Oh yeah.
Well, it bombed. I mean, the goal was $2 million and they got 80 grand. So and so I think, and people are thinking that this is just a rebranding of that because a lot of the same people are behind it. So, but the Coleco, they snapped it up and they're calling it Coleco Chameleon. Yeah,
man.
And they're making not just ports and everything. They're going to develop 8, 16, and 32-bit games for this system.
Oh man, I love it already.
I am.
But for the right price, I'm on it.
Dude, yeah, I mean, even if it is a $200, $250, I'd get that. If there were consistent 8, 16, 32-bit games coming out that were good, I mean, that's awesome because just think of the processing power that's of an 8 and 16, 32-bit game now. Like what you can fit on a cartridge nowadays compared to what you could back in the day. So these games for this, they're going to be cartridge-based. Yeah, they're going to be 8, 16, 32 bits. But have you guys seen Shovel Knight? I mean, it's ridiculous.
Fair point.
Yeah, so there's going to be so much for it. And you could, I mean, just the storage power of a cartridge now is just, I mean, what was it back in the day? A Nintendo cartridge was like 50, 60.
I don't even know.
Yeah, it was like 100 kilobytes.
The DS games, I mean, those are on SD cards. I mean, they can hold a ton of stuff on those,
Right.
So.
Yeah, and so whatever you put in the quote cartridge, you can make it a quote cartridge, but it doesn't have to be, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. I mean, I'm hoping, right? That's the little kid in me being like, whoa.
The kid in me agrees. I mean, but so many games out there, like I said, for the right price, I'll snatch it up instantly and, enjoy the time I play. But, if a $200 system, I might back away and go ahead and keep playing some of my other games and wait and see because Christmas always comes around.
Yeah.
Christmas always comes around.
Well, I'm always delayed a reaction. Well, hey, it's here. It's coming, man. Christmas is here. But I'm usually never an early adopter of a system. I always wait 6 months at least to a year before I get the new system, unless I'm just dying for it. I mean, I did for the old school, but the recent ones, PS3 and I waited 6 months for PS3, and I waited almost 2 years for the PS4, or a year and a half. But I definitely want to see if it comes to fruition and if it's good. But my mind and my hope is just oh my god, it's just going wild with the possibilities of it, right?
It'd be awesome.
John, the controller, right? So I mean, you know how the regular DualShock 3 and the new PS4 controllers are, right? And even an Xbox controller, right? You got the D-pad up the upper left, and the sticks down and down below, and the buttons up the upper kind of right. Well, this is opposite. So the sticks are above the button and D-pad. I was like, what?
Well, that the Dreamcast did that. The Dreamcast controller had one of the directional sticks above the D-pad on the left.
But both sticks are above.
Ah, okay.
It's
so
I looked at it.
Buttons.
Yeah. Did you see the picture, Mitch?
Yes.
I was that was the first thing I noticed. I was like, wait, what? How does that work?
It is a little bit different. Now, I mean, it'll take some getting used to.
Yeah, for sure. And there's going to be all kind of modders and stuff. You're going to be able to stick your DualShock 4 into there and just play it or whatever. But so that was cool. Yeah.
No, I wish him luck. I mean, if it's something that will take off, it's something that I will certainly investigate, especially for my company.
Yeah.
Because if it's something that is worthwhile, we sure will be reviewing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I think it'd be cool. And yeah, and shoot, like we might just start developing games for it. Like I said, like we're getting into game design. That sounds good. So right on, go Coleco. The Coleco Chameleon. So if you guys haven't heard about it, go research it, and if you guys know any more information, please email us, and I'd like to hear every single bit of info about it. So
I'd like to know who some of them that are going to be developing, so definitely share that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. Cool. This has been out for a little bit now, since the 16th, I want to say, so over a week old, and we didn't cover it last time, but now it's even more in detail. But Hideo Kojima to Sony. Yay. His little non-compete clause is officially over as of December 15th with Konami. And so he has restarted a new studio. And guess what the name is? Kojima Productions.
I was going to say Konami backwards. I don't know.
No, it's the same as his old studio. Very, very creative. But yeah, he started Kojima Productions, and now he's an independent studio with Sony. So he's not one of their first-party studios, but he's an independent studio directly partnered doing exclusive PlayStation stuff. And he wants to get a game out soon, and that's his goal, is to push a game, and he wants it up. So my question to you two is, what's next for Hideo Kojima? So I'm a big Metal Gear guy, so I'm glad. I wanted to make something new because the dude is crazy, and he's just.
I think this is his chance. If he wants to get something out fast, he could probably heave a couple of things over the wall and see what happens.
Right.
Like if he's not, the quote unquote big title, studio for Sony anymore. I'm assuming he's not quite under their thumb, so maybe he'll have a little more flexibility, and maybe he can take chances like we've talked about plenty of times.
Yeah, no, he was stuck on a Konami forever, and now he's not. Now he's an actual partner with Sony, a company that's a lot more forgiving and they've had a good relationship for 20 years now. So
yeah. So I think this is going to be his chance to be like, man, I had this idea 12 years ago and they squashed it. I'm doing it.
It's a great start and a great opportunity. There's a lot in Sony that he'll be able to explore. I mean, if I remember correctly when I was reading into this as well. I mean he's actually wanting to have maybe some of these games that he makes even developed to where it's PC as well. Which I say if you're a developer, you want a bigger reach, however you can get. If he chooses to develop for PC and Sony allows that as an independent studio, more power to him, because that's just going to allow his creativity to flourish, and I think Sony realizes that.
So yeah, next news story is French consumer group takes on Steam/Valve. The UFC Que Choisir in French, for all you Frenchies out there. They're an organization that litigates on behalf of the public, and they feel that Steam is letting its customers down. And they go over a few things that they think Steam is doing wrong and that Valve is doing bad, and blah blah blah. And we'll see. Good job to take on Valve. That you're not going to win.
Wait, France.
You mean that company that I have so many games I can't even play them right now because they give me such great deals on.
Yeah,
they're doing me a disservice. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things. Well, the things actually that they are complaining about are actually the root of them are based on. I agree. In practice, legally, it's not going to hold up because I can guarantee you that Valve has covered their butts with everything legally with their gangster lawyers. They're making money hand over fist. They're like basically swimming in it. They're like Johnny Tapia, Bad Boys 2. Like the rats are eating their money. They can't even get it across to America so fast. Like it's just like
rats are eating my money.
Yeah, they can't. Like so, like. Okay, here's an example. So yes, that company that gives you games in your library, right? But if they decide that we don't want to have this license anymore. We're not going to pay for it for the next year, and they just stop it, that game disappears from your library because you subscribe to the game. You don't own the game. That's why you're allowed to digitally download it onto multiple platforms. You can put it on your Steam box, you can put it on your PlayStation, this, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
But so you subscribe to the game. So you may purchase it. You're purchasing a subscription. That's how they get around it. So if they turn it off, it's off. It's gone forever. You don't have it anymore. Yeah,
that's the problem with your Wii U as well, or any digital service.
Well, not necessarily, because if you install it and it's on your hard drive, it's there. You can play it, but they can literally stop the service for it because you have the Steam authentication, right? When you load the game up, so it goes bye. It just ceases to exist. Yeah. So that's what they're complaining about. One of those things. There's a couple other things, but I just thought it was interesting. I just want to bring that up because there's going to be a lot of this kind of stuff as we move forward in games, because I feel that Valve is going to quickly become 1997 Microsoft, and it is becoming. And they're going to get, a lot of shots taken at them because they do have a monopoly. If you want to get a game on PC, if it's not on Steam, you are not getting it sold, period. Like, it's not happening, or it's going to be very difficult. So, yeah.
Well, there's always going to be those that are going to challenge. Valve would just be another example. You mentioned Microsoft. I've mentioned Nintendo. Nintendo's constantly in patent lawsuits.
Oh yeah.
They have. And Valve is going to have just as aggressive a litigation team to squash these. And right or wrong, that's just how that's going to play out in the business scene and in the courtrooms. They're gonna be challenged, but they're going to have a super aggressive team. I mark my words.
Oh yeah, that's going to happen for sure. John, would you take on Valve?
No, and I mean they don't have a case. I mean they're kind of fighting the wrong battle. This is more of a DRM issue than Valve. I mean every digital downloader, digital provider basically has these kind of rules in place. I mean this even happened to us on Amazon maybe a year or two ago. We bought a movie and I don't remember what it was at the time, but we bought a movie, went to go play it one time, it wasn't playing, and I was like, what the heck? And so I called Amazon, oh yeah, we didn't renew that license, so you can't watch it. And I was like, figures. It's like,
yeah, just the secret world of digital stuff now. Well, it's not only digital things. There's a couple other concerns. I guess I should read a couple of these real quick. They used for France, they use Luxembourg's consumer laws, regardless of the user's country in Europe. So they don't like that, which I agree with that. That's crap. I don't want to be. What if they were like, oh, you can only use Guatemala's laws, and we're sitting here, that's crap. They decline responsibility if they get hijacked for their personal rights. So in the user agreements, hey, if we get hacked and your stuff gets hacked, it's not our responsibility. So it's wait, what? So there's a couple things in there that I'm like, oh, okay, but legally, I know that Valve has covered them, and they have so much legalese and just tangled web of stuff that they're going to be okay. So,
but it may instigate some necessary changes.
Oh, for sure. Oh no, I agree. But it's going to be Valve behind the scenes is doing some quick little fixes, but it's not going to be. They're not going to win this case. We'll say.
No.
So
no.
Yeah. So
I have to agree.
Yeah. So and then piggybacking on that before we finish up on the last story is there's a guy that sued Bethesda for his addiction to Fallout 4, and I thought that was really funny. I think Mitch, you said you read that.
Yeah, years ago I should have done that for KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh yeah, I should have done that with about 50 games, everything from Age of Empires to Final Fantasy VII to oh my goodness, Skyrim. I would have got a lot of money. We should just let's file a class action, like a retrograde class action. You guys down?
Well, as soon as we get off the podcast, I'm about to feed my habit again. I'm going to go rebuy, I think for the dozen time, Final Fantasy VI on Steam.
Ooh.
Yeah. Gotta have it again. I keep hearing on YouTube videos, and even my brother bought it. He's been,
I heard the PC version sucks though, so I'm actually gonna pick that up because I'm in the process of going back to playing about 22 NES SNES games because I missed the SNES because I went
Great
Sega.
system.
So yeah, but my friends had us. I played what they had, and but I missed a lot of games on it. So I'm gonna go back, but I want to play them like raw. So I'm actually gonna get an old school CRT TV, like so I can hook it up, and so yeah, it's gonna be nice. But
So when I was younger, I had the classic TV with the regular Nintendo, combo.
Oh,
so
wow.
yes, so I would just be able to. I had to just plug in my NES cartridge and turn my TV on.
That's
Yep.
awesome. Well, I got good at doing a lot of video bypassing setups because that's how I'm good at it now. Because my days is messing around with an Atari and messing around with a Nintendo. Because I had to figure out, okay, we have a VCR, we have a huge speaker system. How am I going to rig this Nintendo into the living room when my parents are gone because I want to play on the big TV? So I started messing around with wires, and I figured out what things worked and what inputs did. And so at like age 5, 4, so that helped. But so I'm getting the old school TV, and it'll be fun. But definitely, I got to play through 6. I've only played about half of 6, so I need to finish it. So
it's my favorite of all time.
Number 7 is my favorite, but that's probably because I haven't played 6. I bet you 6 would be up there as well. So.
Back in the day, my buddy and I took his Nintendo and the regular Nintendo NES, and we ran it through his VCR, and we recorded us beating Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yep, I did that a lot. Yeah. Yep, that's my normal setup is through the VCR because I had a VCR in my room, and so the VCR was plugged into my TV, right? So I couldn't have the auxiliaries. So I plugged it into the VCR, and then I figured out one day that you could record it, and I was like, genius. So I used to make little video game tapes.
Yep. Hey, well, when I was younger, I always got the Nintendo VHS tapes they'd send you promotional.
Nintendo Power stuff, yeah.
Yeah, that was always good to get when you were younger, back before internet days. I'm marking my age now.
Yep, exactly. I heard a little Zelda in the background. Yeah, so did I. You messing around with some stuff over there, Mitch?
Oh, no, that's my phone. Just let me know that treasure just came through.
Oh, nice. Fantastic. I like that. All right, let's finish up this little news segment. There wasn't a lot of big news. We're just kind of filling space now. But one thing I wanted to showcase, I'm going to play it for you guys. There was a weather presenter in Australia, I think. She made 12 Star Wars puns in 40 seconds doing the weather. So I'm going to play it for you guys. So, okay, let's take a quick listen, all right?
Unusually mild day today with a layer of cloud covering the UK, but if you look farther west you will be seeing a glimmer of sunshine if you're lucky. However, there will be a fairly light breeze. The force is strong though for northern Scotland, and then tonight the weather strikes back as a deep area of low pressure pushes in from the west, creating storm-like conditions for Northern Ireland and western Scotland. Don't be a trooper, please take care on the roads, could be difficult driving conditions. Now if you're forced to awaken early tomorrow morning, it will be on the dark side, but as you can see, fairly mild with temperatures in double digits. Far away towards the southeast of England, there's a new hope for some sunshine developing in the afternoon.
Man,
how was that? That was awesome.
She was totally reading that off of a prompter. There's no way.
Totally. She was from England. Yeah, that's right. But pretty funny. I thought
my hat goes off to her
to the writers
and to the writers.
Yeah, she nailed that. But if you're Wookiee,
if
you look farther west,
don't be a trooper.
Yeah, exactly. It was pretty good. I liked it. So that's it for news. Anybody got anything else before we move on?
Tap.
Good. All righty. So, again, we have Mitch Cole here with us, and we're going to get into your interview, Mitch, right after this little break. Are you ready to get grilled?
I'm ready.
All
ready
right.
to grill.
Have a holly. Okay, I can't sing that. We don't have the rights to it, but that's a good song. Yeah. There'll be some music playing here as soon as the podcast is over. I'll have my Pandora station just rocking with Christmas music like Macaulay Culkin. I'm home alone right now, so I have all the statues connected to my hands. I'm just dancing.
You mentioned Home Alone, Macaulay Culkin. Have you seen the new YouTube video that he released?
I have not. What happened?
Oh no! So Macaulay Culkin just released a type of I don't know if YouTube, but he just released a kind of unofficial follow up to Home Alone. in which case he's like he's a 28-year-old Macaulay Culkin. And it's something that children can't, see at all because it's
no.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, this is something that we'll have to look at here. All you children listening, earmuffs. Okay, so yeah, I'll definitely check that out. That's funny. So thank you, Mitch, for that. So now you're already setting yourself up for the jokester, watching funny YouTube videos. But yeah, we have Mitch Cole here with us. He's our guest of the week. And yeah, Mitch, we're going to get into your interview. We have our resident journalist on staff, Jonathan Nadeau, here to kind of give you the hard questions and get the hard facts and see what's going on with you. So without further ado, John, take it away, buddy.
All right, Mitch, thanks for coming on. We appreciate your time.
I appreciate you having me.
And not a problem. Even if you are a Chiefs fan, we still like having you on.
Ooh, hey, I'm an old school Raiders fan, so I also hate him, John.
I can always fall back on Tom Brady as well. Tom, he's always stuck to Denver whenever my Chiefs couldn't do it, so that's okay.
I'll tell you what, though, I was a Chiefs fan back in the day with Christian Okoye and Derek Thomas. I was a Chiefs fan back in the day, so
I even supported Neil Smith when he went into the dark side and went to Denver.
Right on.
So Mitch, like we talked about, you mentioned earlier about the Fanatic gaming site, but before we get to that, what was like the very first game that you played, and what was like that game where you're just like, oh yeah, I'm all about this. I want to be doing something surrounding video games when I get older. Like, what was that game?
Oh. I mentioned it earlier. Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars back on the original Xbox. That was something that, it served two passions, the entertainment fantasy type of genre, but at the same time, my gaming passion. I knew from that point on with the amount of hours that I put onto the game of that nature that, not only did I want to play games, I wanted to be in this industry.
That's cool. Now, you also mentioned that you had an NES. Was that your first system that you had, or?
Oh yeah, I had Atari 2600. I had the NES. Nice. I'm 34 years old. So I remember beating the Super Mario Brothers on the NES when I was 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Final Fantasy VI is probably my all-time favorite game of the world. Blockbuster made a lot of money back on me, back in the day, or at least my parents.
Oh, you were renting the game? You kept renting it?
Well, back in those days, it was harder to find copies of games.
And they were $80, $100 too.
And yes, they were. Sometimes it was hard just to find copies. And so where I live here in Kansas City, Missouri, and as big a city as that can be, it was still hard to find a copy. So yeah, I was renting a lot.
No kidding. That's cool. But back to the Atari. What was some of the games that you liked on the Atari?
Pitfall Harry.
Nice.
My favorite one on the Atari. But also, I played a lot of systems that people may not necessarily remember. One of my favorite systems was, the TurboGrafx 16 and Bombs Adventure.
I had one of those. That was actually one of our
questions. Yeah, there you go. That was the question last week or the week before.
Yeah. It was Guess That Game, and I gave a description of Bonk's Adventure. That's funny. Yeah, I had that system myself too.
Yeah, those little graphic cards that that were used in place of the cartridges, they were what I thought were the cutting edge in that day.
Oh yeah, I loved also the Turbo Express. It was like the TurboGrafx version of the Game Boy, and you could play. You take that same game and put it in the Turbo Express and play it. I thought that was genius doing that. So, what was your favorite game? Was your favorite game Bonk's Adventure, or did you ever play Splatterhouse?
I did. I played a lot of different games. See, my grandfather originally had the TurboGrafx 16, so I do have fond memories of just going over and visiting with my granddad. And after a while, then I'd go and start playing his, playing the TurboGrafx 16. And eventually, I wore it out so much that he gave it to me. He's just like, "Here, you take it."
That's funny. I also loved playing Blazing Lasers. It was kind of a 1942 kind of type of game, but you're more like spaceships and stuff.
Oh, can't go wrong there.
Yeah, so that was cool. No, that's awesome that you had that you had the TG16. That's really cool. So what's your favorite system right now? Like, what do you have right now that's your favorite go-to system?
So I mean, as a company where I review video games, I mean, it's not. I own them all. I own the Nintendo Wii U. I own the Xbox One. I own the PlayStation 4, and I even operate my PC through my Alienware Alpha.
Nice.
So I'm able to play, all my Steam games plus download whatever games I would like. I really do. We talked about it. You kind of touched on it earlier. I believe I love my Wii U. It's got a lot of great games. It was severely mismanaged when it was released. I really enjoy my Xbox One. A lot of people, talk about the PlayStation 4. I enjoy my PlayStation 4, but out of all four of my systems, that's the one that gets played the least.
Okay.
Now, I'm waiting for Uncharted 4 to change that.
Oh yeah,
nice.
For sure. Yeah.
So again, you just mentioned your gaming website. You want to tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, the name of our company is Fanatics Gaming and Entertainment. www.myfanaticsgaming.com. We provide video game reviews, video game articles, and as well as we help promote YouTube content creators. We're here to help promote the gamers. We're building a community in which case, gamers, we want you to come to us and use our platform to learn about games, to learn how to better buy video games. Something I'll touch on later is, day one purchasing. We want to help, educate a gamer so that way you're going to be able to buy more games, afford more time to play, things of that nature, which kind of leads me to the point. We do have a subscription model for a private magazine. And, we do have subscribers that are now subscribing to our magazine, taking part in our program. And it's been a fun ride so far in our first year. That we're now getting ready to enter into our second year. And, we're welcoming, new people every day.
That's really cool. Yeah, that's what I said.
The one thing that we talked about before we started the podcast that I thought was neat too that you guys do is you actually pay for the games to do the review. Like you're not, it's not like any other a lot of these other publications where they get the games handed to them a few weeks before to do the review. You're actually forking over your cold hard cash, buying the game. And I think that would give the reader or the people that visit the site a much more real review, and I think that's awesome.
Oh yeah, because you have that time commitment to purchase power ratio. It's like, hey, am I getting my money's worth for this game? Like I'm buying this. I'm not just getting preferential treatment, right?
It's one thing to play a game for free that was given to you.
Oh yeah.
When you pay the money, it means
different
something.
Mm-hmm.
Ball game. Right. Now I always advise people to keep in mind, finding the games at the best possible prices. I mean, of course, day one purchasing is fun, but always try to find that best price on the game that you want because really, I mean, you're playing the game for the love of the game. You don't need to spend out any extra money for it.
Right. So what made you want to take that approach to paying for the games to review them instead of approaching, the studio saying, hey, I've got this site that does reviews. Why don't you hand me over a copy and I'll review your game?
Yeah, did something put a bad taste in your mouth or something? Because again, it's a great concept because in theory, it's what needs to happen, I think.
GameStop and Game Informer put a sour taste in my mouth. I was really disappointed with what I felt was biased reviews. And the reason why we pay for our games and we review our games is because we understand. We certainly understand that it costs your money to play the games, to purchase the games. If it comes to a point that there is a game that is highly touted, that is highly advertised, but is very, very bad, you don't have to think that we're going to sit there and try to sell you on a bad game.
Tony Hawk 5.
and poor Tony Hawk, he is now dropping his name from that game. It's so bad.
Yeah, it's oof. Ugh.
But it's the integrity, it's the honesty of our company. Our core value is the fact that we're trying to provide value and help gamers learn how to game better. That's my motto, is to learn how to help gamers game better.
Cool.
What you sort of touched on it a little bit, but Like, how did you actually get this started? Like, what you said it was a Game Informer that kind of gave you that bad taste in your mouth, but what really pushed you over the edge and said, okay, that's it, I'm putting up this website.
That's it.
Like, so like this needs to change, and I'm going to be the guy to do it. Like, what was that? The straw that broke the camel's back.
So you might be surprised. Originally, Fanatics Gaming started as Nintendo Fanatics. And there's the
Wii U.
There's the straw that broke the camel's back. Now, I was not originally a fan of the Wii U. I was a day one buyer of the Wii U, and my Wii U sat for a good year collecting dust. And I'm fair about that as well. I love the Wii U, but there was a serious drought in that case. But my Nintendo roots go back since the NES. And so that's where, I felt there was a lot of injustice, that was being, touted about with the Wii U. It's never going to be the powerhouse of the PlayStation 4. But I have enough games that have seriously justified my purchase. And that's where I got to the point, it's like, hey, I wanted to be a little bit more fair, whereas, IGN, Game Informer, their opinions carry weight. And I wanted to kind of counteract the fact that I disagree. I disagreed back then with Nintendo, and I still do. I think Nintendo has a great future if they play their cards right. But that's their own business. That's what they run. Our job instead is just to review what we're giving and let our readers know. We provide information through both written reviews and as well as video reviews and even Let's Play. Let's Play is a big thing. Come watch the videos of a game and look at that, and decide if it's a game that is in your taste. Don't waste the money if you want to instead just look at and find the game if it's right for you.
That's cool. What are some articles or videos that you've done recently?
So one of my most recent, I have also writers, but one of my most recent reviews that I had done was Fatal Frame for the Wii U, Made in the Black Water. It was a fair game, and I give it a passing grade. And for the Wii U, I thought it was a great addition to the library. But I've also done a number of reviews for any of the systems. I'm a big fan of the Forza series for Xbox. So I've done
was cool.
Yeah. I loved Horizon, and so I've done reviews for Forza. I've done the PlayStation 4 reviews. The Last of Us Remastered Edition was probably one of my more favorite reviews that I've done on the PlayStation 4, and that was something that was was a day one release. Cool. And that's kind of why my PlayStation 4 kind of collects dust versus some of my other ones.
Right. Hey, John, if you don't mind if I can jump in here for a second, but Mitch, what's your review scale look like? Do you use points? Do you use grades? Like how you said passing, kind of walk us through that? Do you have certain bullet points that you hit on? How does it go?
So we look at a few different core metrics, whether the gameplay itself, the mechanics of the game. We also look at just the graphics and capability, not just how shiny it is, but for what kind of intent that it is.
Yeah.
If it's an 8-bit type of game, is it executed well? Does it flow smoothly? Of that nature. We also look at the sound. We also look at dialogue. I am big on story. But at the end of a review, we're always going to tell you if we think the game is worth your interest or purchase. We don't necessarily give a 9 out of 10 or a B. We've debated about that many times. But why categorize a game as that? Because gamers, we're all different. What you like may be different from what I like. But if I share my experience with you and what I feel was right or wrong about the game, then you have a better chance of being informed and making a better decision on your purchase.
Right. But do you have any concrete metrics that you use? Any, objective, and besides just the objectivity, do you have any some things that are just, hey, here's the hard numbers, that you attribute to the games?
No, I wouldn't say no. I mean, we just look over the overall game, the overall fun. Now, we don't grade on a concrete measurement of graphics or anything like that. If a game looks good, I will tell you. If the game is glitchy, I will tell you. And if I find a lot of bugs in a game, I will certainly tell you.
Okay, cool.
Now, if a game isn't good, do you try to wrap the game back up and bring it back to the store?
when I first bought my Alienware Alpha and I learned of Steam, I learned of the fact that you can request refunds on Steam, and I exercised that right for a couple times, But hey, I mean, you sometimes you get a bad game. I've reviewed bad games. You have to plod through, but you remain, critical. I look at what was good about it. I try to find a good in the game. If I can't, I'm going to tell you. And I have failed many games where I have told our readers, do not buy this game. It's not worth your money, and it's not worth your investment.
Two questions for you from me is, number one, this is kind of like you said, like bad games. I guess it's more of a statement. You remember when we played games, like we would see a game, or like we'd go in the store, read the title of the box looked cool, an NES game. We'd buy it, take it home, and it would just suck ass. But you know what? We would play the hell out of that thing as kids. We would still play it no matter how much it sucked, and we would beat it, and we played it every day because you know what? That's all we could afford, or that's all there was out there at the time, right? Now the market is so saturated with games. Do you think that that's kind of having an effect on our opinions of what a bad game is? Because there's always going to be something better. So when you review, there's that aspect.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's the aspect in a lot of gamers of the fact that there's always the next best thing.
Yeah, so nothing's ever good enough anymore. It didn't seem
right, and there's an attitude. I mean, when we were younger, there was an attitude of games came out every few months. Games are coming out every day now,
every hour.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we want to show. I mean, there's just way too much games. It's not like we can sit there and claim to cover every game. But by visiting Fanatics, you're gonna have you're gonna look at game reviews and game articles that are vetted by gamers themselves.
I have a game returning story. Back when I had my Genesis, I don't remember if it was for my birthday or Christmas, but you guys may or may not remember this game, Shadow Beast.
Yeah, I recall.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I got it for either Christmas or my birthday, and it was a horrendous game. And I was like, man, this game sucks. And my mom's friend owned a movie rental store. We brought the game back and we re-shrink wrapped the game.
Oh no!
Brought it back to Toys R Us and got a new game.
Shame! You're outing yourself. Bad.
My story of a bad game, that grew on me, like you were mentioning, Ted, would be Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. I was a big Final Fantasy fan, and then there was this branch off called Mystic Quest. I hated that game, but then I found myself spending countless hours playing that game. Couldn't put it down for some reason.
Yep, that's what it goes like.
One game that can't grow on you is A Boy and His Blob.
Never heard of it. Never played it. I probably won't.
It's for the NES.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
From just game.
There's some bad games out there, but okay. And my second follow up to that was, I love video games, right? And doing something you're passionate about for a career is always like the ultimate goal, right? But one thing I was always worried about is if I ever got to the reviewing side is would reviewing and being a game reviewer taint my vision or view of games? Because would I be playing them for work? And so I have a really big question to that to you is, has that messed up your idea? Do you start looking at games critically, and then when you're playing through a new game, you're like, oh, I should probably just write a review for this, and you can just start reviewing in midstream, or has it tainted you at all?
I enjoy it.
Okay,
I
cool.
won't say I've actually I've worked in this industry now for the last couple of years, and I've spoken with colleagues who you can get burnt out. But my advice is this: change your genre around every now and then. When you play the same genre constantly and over, and you review those same genre, you can get burnt out. I broaden my range, and I'm thankful for that. There are so many different kind of games that I play now that I enjoy that I don't think I ever would have gotten out of if I hadn't taken that thought or consideration.
That's a really good outlook. I like that. I like the way you said that.
Yeah, it's cool. And since I'm the hardware junkie, I have to know the specs of your Alienware computer.
So I'm operating on an i3 Intel. Now I got an 8 gigabyte RAM.
Okay.
So I'm looking at upgrading. I was just kind of looking at it yesterday of upgrading my RAM to 16 gigabyte.
Essential.
Yeah, and so I'm kind of a noob when it comes to the PC. Now I have a younger brother who actually has built his own gaming PC rig, and he's been kind of working with me and kind of learning. So
That's me in February. That's going to happen.
I'm going to put that together here soon too. I'm sorry.
Do you know what kind of video card you have in it?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
I think he has a 720, an NVIDIA 720.
Yeah,
okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, because when we talked about it yesterday, I think it was Mitch. You mentioned that, and I looked it up real quick.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
I just did a review on our magazine for our subscribers about the Alienware, and keep in mind it's also PC, and I use my Alienware Alpha. I'm using it right now as PC. So it's just easily able to switch over to console, and I'll start playing, console if I wanted to get off here and go play on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Right on. Yeah. So,
did you have anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of want to know, like, kind of what are the details can you give us about the site? How does it work? So I guess I want to dive deeper into the
the membership.
the membership and like the incentive program. Like that's I think the cool thing you got going. How'd you score that? How do you manage that? How does it work for the consumer? So
we're building a community. We want a community of gamers to affect the type of buying power. We have partnered, with a few different partners that, are hopefully going to be able to help the average gamer save on games. Our top partner right now is with Best Buy, in which case, by taking part in our membership program, you're going to take part in discounts at Best Buy with their Gamers Unlocked program. You're going to get 20% off all of your brand new video games, and plus a few other types of perks and bells and whistles for the Best Buy portion. You're also going to get discounts at Office Max and Office Depot for your computer equipment, or maybe your computer supplies for the YouTube content creators. And a few different other partners that we're growing. We're always exploring new opportunities or affiliates. One of our other affiliates that we're kind of exploring maybe as well is with Sony Creative Services for the YouTube content creators. So that way we're helping provide, a type of a product or a service for, content creators to maybe save a little bit on their gaming rigs or their video rigs.
That's
awesome.
really cool.
Yeah.
20% is a really good discount. I didn't think it would be that much.
It's actually, it's a great program. I mean, with the Fanatics gaming behind this, not only are you going to get the discounts, at Best Buy for the games, you get a lot of other types of perks and whistles. You get discounts at our gear shop. You're also going to get a special consideration discount on any archived magazines or releases that we've had in the past. And so we're trying to build a better community. We also partner with Player.me. If you haven't heard of Player.me, you should, because Player.me is going to be the growing social platform for gamers, and that's my opinion as a founding member. And it's something that this is a gaming community. By joining with Fanatics, you get a special invite through a founding member, and you join that type of gaming community. Grow with all of Fanatics, so that way we as a voice can affect a type of change to when we talk about these big time companies who sometimes forget about those who pay their bills.
And so how much is it then to become a member of this of the Fanatics?
It is $34.99 for a 2-year membership.
Oh,
That's going to cover your discounts for your new games, as well as your new PC gear that you may need at Office Max or Office Depot, and as well as anything else that we're growing in partnerships. We are in negotiation with other affiliates and partners, for 2016 to grow more.
That's cool.
I think I would buy enough to easily surpass that $34.
I was gonna say you buy 3 games and you're even Steven, and so
yeah, you buy some new equipment. You're right there. Wow.
Yeah.
So have a new game at $59.99. That's a $12 discount each time.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's great.
I mean, so that's something that I felt that's where I got into this portion of it, was because of the fact that there are too many times that we pay we overpay for gaming. There are a lot of times we get great deals, when we try to find that hidden deal, but this is an everyday type of program that, a member can kind of go in and grow and save. And at the same time, it's going to give you more gaming choices because you're going to have more money in your pocket to go maybe purchase anything else that you may need, even if it's not gaming related. It may help you. It may help you with saving some of your costs because you're a college student going through college right now.
Exactly. Well, that's cool. Right on. I mean, so I guess at this point, it's like, go ahead and give your shameless plug. Again, you've been talking about it from a good standpoint, but like, give us your plug. Like, where do people find it? The website again, any social media, like specials, everything.
So
just brag about yourself.
www.myfanaticsgaming.com. That's where you're going to find us on the web. And as a matter of fact, you just type in Google, go ahead and type in Fanatics Gaming. You'll find us top of the page.
Good job, SEO.
Yeah. So, that's not all we are. We're here to help you as a gamer too. Take a look at our membership program. It's something certainly that we're going to help you with. Now, if you're in the Midwest area, coming up here January 15th through the 17th, we're going to be attending with our own booth at the Gamer Tech Convention in Kansas City, Kansas. We're going to be there all 3 days promoting, and I'm going to let y'all know right now. I haven't announced this yet. This is something I'm announcing right here on the show.
Oh, you're hearing it live, everybody.
I am going to be giving away a brand new Nintendo Wii U at the GTX convention. In which case, I'm also going to be providing a lot of other good stuff, games, gear, and things of that nature, as well as just come up and visit us.
Awesome.
I suggest that if you're listening to this, that you get a hold of Mitch and figure out how you can attend that show and get that Wii U.
Exactly.
And then also sign up for membership.
Be definitely excited to have those, and let's learn how to, be a better gamer, and and gamers unite is how I always say it.
For sure. Well, that's awesome. John, you got anything else for our good man here?
I'm tapped out.
Sweet. Well, hope, Mitch, you're not tapped out because you know what time it is.
It is.
It is boss battle time.
There you go.
Yeah, at the end of every interview, we have a segment we like to call the boss battle, where you will be going up against, do you know the boss of this week? It is Dr. Robotnik. Or Dr. Eggman if you're from Japan, from the Sonic universe.
Oh yeah.
Excellent, right? So you know that guy. He's
that guy.
Yeah, he's the evil genius,
tubby
egg-shaped, crazy mustache-wearing, nasty experiment conducting diabolical robot scientists set on taking down Sonic the Hedgehog and enslaving all living organisms. Yeah, that guy. Let me run down how it works. So we have our levels, and these are our questions. They are user sourced or listener sourced. So if you want to get a question on to the boss battle, you can send it into any of our social media platforms using the hashtag boss battle, or you can email it to us at jtexgamecast@raptorcow.com and put boss battle in the subject line. So like I said, we have levels. We have 4 levels of increasing difficulty on your way to your final level or the boss encounter for a total of 5. You have 60 seconds for the first 4 levels. Okay. You are awarded a power-up, which makes any question in the first 4 levels 50-50. So that's a good thing to do, and John will be your companion through your quest, and he will make sure and remind you of your power-up and keep tabs on it.
Your tails.
Yes, he'll be your tails. He'll be your all the above, your Cortana, all the above, right? You are allowed to warp a question. So during your 60 seconds, if you want to warp, it's like basically a pass. And time permitting, you can come back to the question. Okay? At the end of the first 4 questions, we'll go over them and see how you did, the first 4 levels. If you get 4 out of 4, you get another power-up for the final encounter on the boss. So it behooves you to do well in the first 4 levels. Oh, yes.
Pins and needles.
Yes, pins and needles. And then obviously, you go against the boss of the week, Dr. Robotnik, who's going to try to enslave you and control your mind and make you into cyborg. So,
we don't want that.
No, that's not cool. And then if you get 5 out of 5, you are in our Hall of Champions, and our hall is empty. There's no one in there. So you could be the first one.
That.
Yeah, let's change that today.
I got a good feeling about Mitch, Ted. I think
I think he might do pretty well this, and that's a lot of pressure, Mitch, because I usually don't want people to do well. I usually try to make them fail because I'm I'm basically the DM.
Hey, there's a lot of gaming out there. Let's go ahead and test that knowledge.
Let's do it, my man. So, without further ado, are you ready, John?
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
Mitch, I gotta ask, are you ready, bro?
Hey, I'm ready.
All right. Your boss battle starts when I finish reading the first question. Level 1. In Street Fighter, which character throws the blue fireball? A. Zangief, B. Ken, C. Blanca, or D. Ryu or Ryu?
Ryu.
All right. Final answer?
Ryu.
All right. I'll take that as your final answer. Level 2. What does today's gaming term MOBA stand for? A. Multiplayer Online Battle Arena. B. Massive Online Battle Archives. C. Multiplayer Octagon Blitz Arena. Or D. Mega Offline Baby Anchovies.
Oh, that's tempting, but I'm going to go with A.
Okay, final answer?
That's my final answer.
All right, moving on. Level 3. How many pressable buttons are on an N64 controller? 30 seconds.
Don't forget you have a 50-50 also.
20 seconds. 15. We still have another question there, Mitch.
8.
8. Final answer?
Final answer.
All right, moving on. Level 4, 10 seconds. What was the original name of Space Invaders?
Oh, 50-50.
Either Alien Invaders or Space Monsters.
Alien Invaders.
And time. Whew. Alrighty, you got the...
Man.
You got
took it down to the wire.
You did. You took it down to the wire, but you got it in. Okay. Okay, shake it
Drama,
out, shake it out, shake it
drama
out. All right. So Dr. Robotnik is up in this castle looking at you, go do his little gauntlet he threw down, and we'll see how you did. Alrighty. How you feeling? Confident?
Feeling confident.
Okay, John, what do you think? How you feeling?
That's looking pretty good.
Okay, so level 1. The question was, in Street Fighter, which character throws a blue fireball? The choices were Zangief, Ken, Blanca, or Ryu/Ryu. If you're from America, we say Ryu, and if you're from America, we say Ryu. But whatever. I said Ryu, but we'll go Ryu. The answer is D, what you said, Ryu. Good job.
Ryu.
Congratulations. Nice.
Ken was red, right? He was the red fireball.
Yes, that's right. The yellow-red one. So
Yeah.
good job. So you were correct. All right, 1 for 1.
Yay. 1 for 1.
All right, next stage, level 2. What does today's gaming term MOBA stand for? And the choices were A, Multiplayer Online Battle Arena, B, Massive Online Battle Archive, C, Multiplayer Octagon Blitz Arena, or D, Mega Offline Baby Anchovies. And D is not the right answer. The answer is what you said again, A. Good job. Multiplayer Online Battle Arena. That's right, John. 2 for 2. Okay, I'm liking it. He's on a roll. All right,
Yeah.
must be Buddy. He's on a roll. I like it. Okay, and then level 3 came, and you took about 25 seconds for this question, but that's okay. The question was, how many pressable buttons are on an N64 controller? Your answer was 8. Is that correct?
Yeah.
No, I'm asking if your answer is correct. No, I'm just kidding. No,
I had to think about that one for a minute.
no you answered 8, and the answer is 11. There are. Well, let's break it down. Okay, we have the 4 yellow C buttons, right? You have the right trigger, the left trigger,
Yep.
the Z button. That's 7.
Z button.
The B and the A, 8, 9. You have a start button, 10, and you have a D-pad, 11. Oh,
Yep.
There you go.
Womp, womp, womp.
So you're not going to get a power up for Dr. Robotnik, but that's okay. Let's see how you did on question 4 on level 4. This one was decently tricky, and you had your power ups. That was good. What was the original name of Space Invaders? What a great, classic game. And you use your power up here, right? And the power up denoted that it was either Alien Invaders or Space Monsters, right? You answered Alien Invaders. The correct answer is actually Space Monsters. Oh, man. It was based off a Japanese game, Space Monsters, that like a series that they ended up doing. Yeah, and the original name was Space Monsters until they changed it to Space Invaders. Ooh, 2 out of 4. Ugh.
Such a great start.
Yeah, you came out of the gate firing. The last little levels kind of you tripped up, so you're slightly bloodied. You're not doing too good. You have half health. You're rolling into the boss encounter. But right now, Dr. Robotnik is staring at you in the face. Right now, he's laughing. He's twirling his little orange mustache. He's looking at you. So Without further ado, are you ready to take down Dr. Robotnik?
Let's do this.
Are you ready to redeem yourself?
I am.
All right,
Redemption.
let's see what happens. John, are you ready?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
All righty. Mitch, your boss encounter starts when I finish reading the entire question. Dr. Robotnik, or Dr. Eggman, depending on where you hail from, is a plump, evil scientist with a confirmed IQ of 300, spending his days as the archenemy of Sonic the Hedgehog. He is known for his genius in robotics, but he puts it to poor use performing experiments on living organisms on South Island, hoping to gain control over all of them. The caveat to this is that he needs the 6 Chaos Emeralds to do so. Your question. If Dr. Robotnik was to search for the emeralds in our world today, which country would he likely have the best chance to find them?
Okay.
25 seconds. What country on Earth would he have the best chance to find emeralds? 20 seconds.
Emeralds, or let's see.
15 seconds.
Oh, wow. Let's see. I'm going to have
10.
to say maybe Japan.
Final answer?
Final answer.
And time. Oh, all right. Dr. Robotnik, you bounced on his head a couple times, right? He was in his little pod
he
flying
did.
around, you know. Right, okay, so let's break this down. So, Dr. Robotnik, we know the 6 Chaos Emeralds from Sonic, yeah?
Yep.
Where would he have to look? You said Japan. Japan is a good country. They're known for a lot of stuff, and same thing with China and Asia for jade and all those kind of things, a lot of precious stones.
Yep.
There are a lot of countries. There are over 200 countries on the Earth, so you had a less than 1% chance of a guess to get this. So that's pretty. Do you want me to tell you the answer?
I would have guessed Spain, Portugal. Or
That was my next guess. I was going to ask you, John, what you thought. Spain or Portugal?
And I was going to go more South America for my next guess.
Okay, well, South Africa is known for precious metals and gems and diamonds and everything. They have gold, they have emeralds, they have iron and tin. They have so many emeralds, right? So that would have been a really good guess. And South Africa actually is the world's second leading producer of emeralds. But who's the first? The answer you chose is Japan, and it is actually not Japan. It is actually Colombia. Colombia produces 50% of the world's emeralds. Yeah, the Spanish, quote, discovered what emeralds were in South Africa in 1600s, but, we always say that Westerners discover things, but, they've been in use for hundreds of years already by that time. But,
sure.
But, so they found emeralds, they became fascinated by them, and so obviously when they went to South America, they found them in Colombia too, and there you go. But yes, it's Colombia, so... that means you did not beat the boss. Oh man, I'm sorry, Mitch. You are going home with absolutely nothing. Hate to say, and Dr. Robotnik is laughing at you, and you're now under his control. I'm sorry. So
I'll get back at him.
You'll get him. Yeah, you'll do it. It's all good though. But we're gonna take a quick break and get into the topic of the week and some emails. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and we just finished an epic boss battle, a showdown where Mitch was he was less than perfect, but he came out well, and he had some conviction in his answers, which the last two guests have done so very well, I would say. Wouldn't you say so, John?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I liked your effort, but there's no stars for participation or medals. I don't agree with that.
I'm putting the vibe out for your next guest.
Okay, I like it.
Go ahead.
Let's see if we can get it.
Tell that next guest. I put the vibe out for them.
All righty, perfect. So we'll do that. So, all right, every week we have a guest bring a topic of the week. And Mitch, did you have a topic that you wanted to discuss?
So yeah, I thought about this, and of course, there's a lot of different choices you could think of.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about day one purchasing. Why do we do it?
Good job. All right, so nice one. All right, go ahead and unpack that for us, man. Go ahead and give us a little preface, some background, and some thoughts, and then we'll get into it.
So we're all guilty of day one purchasing, but why? We pay full price for a game that 2 months down the road goes down in price, or that 1 month down the road has got 3 different patches because of bugs. Why do we keep going out and buying that game over and over each year, knowing that we could be doing a better deal? That's my question to the public and anybody that when I speak to at a convention. Why do we do day one purchasing? Why is that something that we feel there is a need to go out and immediately buy that next big game when chances are you have a backlog bigger than your collection that you're looking at?
Okay, two things here. One, I'm going to flip that back on to you after I say this part of it, is why do you do it? Because you're guilty of first day purchases. But two, I'm going to say that it's not all about saving money because it's about the experience. Like, I will go to a restaurant that is overpriced because I like the food. Like, remember the day that we almost got ran over, John? Yeah, we were going to brunch, right? That brunch was $60. It's a ton of food. Like the pancakes, it's huge, like a mass. I mean, there was a massive amount of food, but it was $60, like $63 after a tip, whatever. I mean, I think it was like ended up being 50, and we gave like a $10 tip because we know the guys, right? But yeah, it's like $63, and I make a mean pancakes and like eggs and hash browns. I can do some awesome stuff at home for like $6, right?
Right.
But why do we do that? Because their special recipe is good, and I really enjoy that meal. And I pay for the experience. So I wanted to do that. Sean and I like doing that on Sunday sometimes, and we'll do that. So if you take money out of the equation, the day one purchase is I want to experience this game I've been waiting for 2 years. I want to be the first person to get out there and beat it and talk about it with people. I want to be in the know. There's all these different factors when you take money out of the equation. So that's kind of why I think
there you go.
So that's my. So then I'm going to flip it on to you there, Mr. Mitch. Why do you do it?
So I can't dispute, and that's the reason why I asked that. I mean, I have backed off myself on a lot of day one, but everybody has their list. And so, but when it comes right down to it, one game on my list right now, that I'm looking at still purchasing is Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's not just cost sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Certainly understand when for the game itself and for the experience. We just talked about Star Wars earlier. But sometimes we don't have to be in that head of that pack. And I feel like there are plenty of games out there that we play or that we have. That doesn't necessarily mean that we need to go out and buy the next Battlefront on that day that it's released. Go ahead and play the games that you're playing.
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm behind. I'm doing catch up. I'm playing Metal Gear, Fallout, Battlefront, Rocket League, all now. Like after, and I got them all for cheap. I got Destiny for free because I got it on Black Friday and just came with the PlayStation. So like, I got the full $120 worth if you bought Vanilla Destiny and all of the expansion packs. I got it for free. So yeah, plus I got a character up to level 25 for free as well, and you bought everything in grind. So it's like if you wait a little bit, granted I'm a year out, but I'm still going to enjoy what I play with it. So yeah, there are things that you can wait for, and it comes to like almost like triage. What can you wait for, and what can't you wait for?
Exactly. Right. I have been guilty of day one purchasing. I used to be that guy that was at GameStop with the biggest list of pre-orders.
Oh yeah.
And I am that guy also that has a number of must-have games, day one purchases, that are still in their original wrappers.
Oh yeah.
So, why did I do it? Now, because I wanted to feel like I was part of the in crowd, but we don't need to be that kind of person. Enjoy the game for what it is. When that game comes around and that game is not going to go anywhere, matter of fact, after a couple patches, it's probably going to play a lot better than when you originally bought it at day one.
I think I mentioned that earlier, is that I never get a system right off the bat. I do because of that. I like to let it get ironed out first. The only thing I was guilty, I did get a launch PS3, which is worth a lot of money now because it's still pristine with the plastic on it. So. And
so then back at you, Ted, so where you don't do that for your consoles, but you will do that for your games?
No, I used to. I used to be that guy. I used to be like the right out the gate guy. Like, let me get the first thing right when it comes out. But and there's certain experiences. But now I still do that. If I want a game, like I get it day one. Like if I want that, like it's okay. Like Uncharted, I'm gonna get that day one. I know that if I played Uncharted in June or July instead of February or when it's going to come out in March, then I will save $20 to $30. But I don't care because I want to play the game. I don't want it spoiled. I just want to play the game. So. Yeah, I know John's a hardware junkie, so John will probably buy day one hardware right off the bat, when stuff comes out for computers and things like that. But what about you, John? What's your guilty thing on the first day one?
Yeah, I tried. I think video cards. I never will buy. I'll never buy like the $600 video card because I know in a year or 6 months it's going to be half the price. But yeah, I definitely like SSD drives and other stuff. I just jump on them as soon as I can. I think one game plan I think some people could take that I was just thinking this as you guys were talking is Mitch, you mentioned like the backlog. Well, what if someone said, okay, this awesome game X is coming out this day. I do want awesome game X, but I'm going to look at my backlog and I could get 2 or 3 of my backlog games for the price of awesome game X. So I'm going to get my backlog games, play those, and then 6
so
months.
Basically, TiVo your experience.
yeah. And then 6 months from then I'll get Awesome Game X because it'll be cheaper, and I would cop on my backlog games.
I think our pressure is the mainstream media these days that has us feeling this pressure to be the first one out there. That's something that not to just plug my company again, but that's something that we don't rush our reviews because
this is your platform to do so, bro. It's okay. Go ahead.
we don't rush the reviews because this is something that takes time, and there's got to be an understanding of a game that you're playing, and that's what we want to share that you've got to take the time out. There's a lot of these different companies, and it's a big playground, but there's a lot of those companies that are reviewing that will have those reviews out day one because maybe they got a release copy, or even if I know for a fact of some companies or some writers who will burn the midnight oil and spend 24, 36 hours, playing a game through. Well, realistically, us gamers, we don't necessarily have all that time to do that in 2 or 3 days. I'll play my game. We'll review the game. Now that's the thing. We're not gonna, we don't rush the review out. You can trust the fact that we played the game through, completed it, and the fact that we're sharing it with you. It might be a week later, but hey, there are those that do not do day one purchasing who are looking for those to advise them on whether or not a game has been experienced and whether it was genuine or not.
Yeah. So you're saying, you bring up day one purchases, and you also use the example of what Fanatics Gaming does, right? So you're saying that, okay, if I want to do day one purchases, that you guys have the knowledge and the experience to show that, hey, if you want to do day one or the first week when something comes out, here's a good way to get a game. You can look at it first. Is that what you're kind of saying?
No.
Because you guys aren't mainstream media, so you can say, hey, we can inform you better, so you can make that decision if you really want to jump onto that day one purchase bandwagon. So
if you're going to jump on the day one bandwagon, there are plenty of other companies out there looking for that hit on their website. My theory is there are a lot of players out there who don't have the money for all the day one purchasing. It happens. Come to Fanatics. It should be this way with any company, but it's not when it comes to reviewing. But it should be. You should come to Fanatics knowing that we've played the game through when it was released. We're experiencing all the truth of the fact of whether there's any bugs or glitches. Now, we can't, I'll be the first one to say, if you're a day one purchaser, it's not probably going to be the right thing, read our review because our review is not going to be out day one. Because I'm going to take my time and play through the game. And, day one purchasers, we're all guilty of it, but our minds are already set that we're going to buy that game and no review is going to change our mind anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, day one purchasing quote should get extended for that first week, obviously. Game comes out Tuesday, all the way, or Friday, all the way through that week. Yeah, so, John, if you want that hard drive or, if I want that system or that game, we're going to get it because we want it. That's what happens. If we have the money, we have the cash, we're going to do it. Now, there are so many games.
You've been reading, reviews or whatever leading up to it. So
you waited 4 years for a sequel,
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you wait 4 years, what's another week? That's my challenge.
You're right, but what is another week? But why, if you've been patient for 4 years, right, and the game is there, why would you make yourself suffer more when you can just go get the game and enjoy it? And you would enjoy it. So it's like, is waiting another week and suffer, or not even a week? It's usually a few months, like a couple months. If it doesn't come out during Christmas time, like the November games, if you wait, obviously because all the Christmas deals will come out. But if the game comes out in June, February, March, any of that time, you're gonna be waiting a couple months, like 2 months before things get discounted, and it's only gonna get discounted like $10, and is $10 worth waiting another month? No, just go out and play the game and enjoy it and have fun. Like, life's too short to me to worry about cash all the time. So
my answer to that is in a game in itself, Batman Arkham Knight. Mm-hmm. I was the day one purchaser. Now,
PC though? PC?
No, I was on PlayStation 4. Yeah, I read all about that too. I bought it on the PlayStation 4. Now, I had followed faithfully with all of Arkham series.
Yeah, fantastic! All three of those games, I have them.
Yes, sir. I mean, even Blackgate, as well. So I've actually have all of them. And so, but I was guilty. I fed into all the CGI trailers and everything of that nature, and I bought that day one. If you read my review, I do not recommend it to gamers because of the fact that I felt there was too many inconsistencies in the game that ultimately led me to regret my day one purchase. And
you weren't alone though. There's a lot of people who gave it less than stellar reviews. A lot of places gave it 6 out of 10 and 3 or 2.5 stars. You weren't alone in that.
For my $60, I could have bought another brand new game at that value, or John was talking about, I could have went to my backlog. And so that's where I advise.
But you never know though. You like the Batman Arkham series, so you're excited for the new game, so you wanted to play it, and it just so happens that the game was bad, and that's what sucks because the other games were good, and then this was a bad flop, and so that's a whole different conversation than a day one purchase. I don't think you can blame that on the fact that you bought it day one, because you know what? If you bought it day 101, it's still going to be a crap game. It doesn't matter. Yeah, they can patch it, but it's still not going to be the game you wanted.
If you're not a day one purchaser and you learn of our reviews, that might help you decide whether or not you decide to move forward with that purchase.
Fair enough. But again, like you said, that's a whole different issue, I think. But yeah, I agree. Having the honest, the honest truth, or from a gamer who went out and bought it and said, okay, here's how it goes. But I just think that pre-ordering you shouldn't do. I think all that pre-order bonus is crap. I think we had
pre-order is a horrible idea. For day one gamers, my recourse, my answer to day one gamers, you're gonna buy anyway. Okay, that's fine. Come to Fanatics. Join Fanatics Gaming and get your 20% off on your game and get a little bit of savings then for your day one purchase.
For sure. Yeah, that's another thing, too. It's instead of just, because, your service is good and there's other services that do the same thing. It's if you're going to day one purchase and you're worried about money, but you want a day one, just go to one of those sites. Join Fanatics, join one of the other sites that do that. Obviously, Fanatics, you guys do a lot of good stuff, so I'm going to direct them to you. Yeah. And get 20% off right off the bat. So there you go. And then you don't have to worry about, if it's bad or not, or less than stellar. But yeah, because I just think that you're paying for the experience. I went to see the Book of Mormon. That I love South Park. I love Matt Stone and Trey Partner, what they do, and so I was excited. So Sean and I, a couple of years ago, it's been 2 years now. January 2014, we went to see Book of Mormon, and I've been wanting to see that for years. It was here in LA for 1 month, and they had the best crew, the best traveling crew, their A team, the Broadway crew was here. So we're not getting the second rate people doing it. So I was like, okay, I have to jump on this. Well, tickets were expensive, and so I was like, you know what, I want to see this, and I said, screw it, and we paid I think $350 for each ticket. And sat,
for each ticket?
Yep, for each ticket. And we sat maybe 6 rows back from the front of the stage. We were so close we could see the sweat off their faces and facial. It was an amazing experience. It was fantastic. Now, if it would have sucked, it would have been bad. But I still wanted to do it, and I just we wanted to see that. I almost paid. I was in London, maybe 2 months before, and the Book of Mormon was there. I almost paid $500 to see it in London, but I didn't. And because I wanted to see it, I wanted to do it. And so but if you go out and just sling games and buy every single day one game out there, and then you do end up being like Mitch and have a big backlog of games and like in plastic, then that's
Yeah, I think the habitual first day buyer probably you're going to probably have some bad taste left in your mouth if you're just buying that game on the first day.
Yeah, for sure. Well, hey, Mitch, thank you for the topic. That was very awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Good deal. So yeah, let's get into some emails before we get out of here. We're running kind of long, but hey, whatever. It's Christmas Eve, and you guys have a lot of time. You got to traveling and stuff, and hanging out with the family. Just put this on in the background while everyone. Yeah,
exactly.
You know what? You should put this on in the background while everyone's opening a present, eating dinner, and let our soothing voices make the Christmas spirit happy.
Ta-da.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, sweet. So let's get some emails. You can get a hold of us. Here you go, John. I'm saying it now. Okay, so you don't have to yell at me. Yeah, JTEX Gamecast at RaptorCow.com. And we have a crap ton of emails, but I don't think we're going to get into all of them. But let's just blaze through them. There's some good ones. This one is from Hector B. from Berkeley, California. John, this is kind of the same thing we had last week. It says, can the boss battles... Oh, it says, hey guys, can the boss battles ever feature a non-villainous character? In many games, you often fight against yourself or you're innately bad. It would be cool to do any major character, I think. And I think we talked about that last week too. So, yes, Hector. Yeah, because if you're, playing a Spider-Man game and you're like the evil Spider-Man, you can just fight against yourself. So, yeah,
exactly.
We'll eventually do all characters. We'll just do the boss battle. Just you're fighting whoever. So yeah, we're gonna expand it. But right now, we're having fun with all the evil people in gaming.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like yeah, I'm sure Mitch had fun fighting Dr. Robotnik. So
I did, and I still got bittersweet taste in my mouth from Robotnik.
You're gonna go right as soon as you're done with the show. You're gonna go beat every Sonic game and kick the crap out of him, aren't you?
Start gonna bust him out now.
Yep. All righty. Next one. Okay. It says, hi, John and Ted. This one's been in the hopper for like 2 weeks. Sorry, Ben. It says, what's the story behind RaptorCow? I hear a lot in the commercials. I've seen the website and the company name, and I know it's you and John's company, but what's the story behind it with the company name? Ben D. from Lakeland, Florida. Okay, Ben. The story goes, when I was a little kid, I was about 7 or 6 years old. My sister and I were on the floor drawing pictures of each other as animals, right? And my dad comes in and, thinking he's like being a good dad, asking what we're doing. And we're like, oh, we're drawing these pictures of each other. And he thinks he's being a great dad. And he can, let's see, I'm going to do something for my wife and show I'm taking care of the kids. Hey, why don't you guys draw, pictures of your mom so when she comes home, she'll have that. And we're like, okay. So he didn't see what we drew. And my mom comes home. And he's like, go get your pictures. So we run and get them. And I had drawn my mother as a blood-dripping velociraptor with, like, evil teeth and everything. And my mom's face, like, just dropped. And my sister holds up her picture, and it's a cow. And so my mom's like, why would you do that? And then I said, well, Mom, because you're the toughest mom ever and no one will mess with you. And that was a good save by me, right? And then my sister said, Mom, because cows are pretty and happy. And so RaptorCow is actually my mom's nickname. So there you go. That is the story of RaptorCow. And then if you go to the website, the actual drawings are on there and the story's there, Ben. So check it out. Sweet. Okay, this one was hilarious. I loved it. I think we've sparked a lot of things now, John, with our energy drink conversations. The subject line, asterisk asterisk. What the F? Are we in danger of losing to the Canadians? And then okay, so Mitch, I'll have you chime in too. It says, okay, here goes. Hey guys, I might censor this just for. It says, hey guys.
We're playing
so I was listening to the last couple shows, and energy drinks have come up a few times. So I thought I would contribute to the scholarly banter and by saying, "What the F?" Yes, exactly. Beep. Are we in danger of losing at something other than hockey to the Canadians? We all know how tight energy drinks and esports have become over the recent years and how caffeine as a stimulant can enhance gameplay. So what's up with this regulation? And he goes to show here, it says, a Canadian 13-year-old is allowed to have up to 400 milligrams of caffeine per day, but according to the American Academy of Pediatrics, American 13-year-old may only have 100 milligrams.
Oh, yeah.
And then he goes into the American Academy of Pediatrics, the 100 blah, 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 a lot of other stats and of the limits and this, and he goes, It's just, are we missing the opportunity to use and abuse PEDs or performance-enhancing drugs to augment our gaming due to regulations and limitations like these? I do not want to lose to Canada. James B. from New Jersey.
It looks like Fox should have bought a team in Canada instead of the U.S.
Hey, right? Yeah, I think that's pretty interesting. I mean, granted, it's for the younger than 18, but there's a lot of gamers under 18 in esports because I thought that was pretty crazy. Like, yeah, no, we don't want to lose to Canada. Come on, like at hockey, that's fine. I mean, but they're Canadians. Come on, from Canada? Like, really? How you doing, eh? What you talking about? Sauerkraut, you know?
They're oozing over us like maple syrup, you know?
Yes, yeah, gross. They're all sticky and all nice.
I do enjoy maple syrup, though. I mean, they did get something right.
They did. They got a couple things right. Maple syrup and maple syrup.
Yeah. And Mounties.
I think they're also to blame for people putting mayonnaise on hamburgers.
I'm gonna vomit.
Yeah. I think they started that whole thing. That's just wrong.
Ooh, actually, you know what? This is a good segue. Thank you, John. Let me see. Aha, great segue, John. So yeah, James B. Hey, are we in unanimous agreement that we don't want to lose to Canada in anything besides hockey?
Well, as a French Canadian myself, go Canadians.
Okay, podcast over, John. You're cut. This is now Ted's excellent Gamecast, and we will be featuring a American only brewed product. We're made in America for Americans only. We don't outsource our jobs. RaptorCow. We believe in supporting. I'm also firmly with Matt Stone and Trey Barker. Blame Canada.
You're bringing it back old school back then.
Oh yeah. Hey guys. Hey guy. I'm not your friend, buddy. I'm not your guy, friend.
a great movie is Canadian Bacon. It's the last movie John Candy was in before he passed away.
I remember that.
It's hilarious movie.
That's a good one.
Well, you provided a good segue, John, to condiments. So check us out. This one, so Mitch, yeah, we get random ones. So this one comes in from Chris from Van Nuys, California. That's here in the LA area, actually. It says, John and Ted, I know how much John loves, a lot of O's, condiments, but can you guys please explain to me what the difference between ketchup and fancy ketchup is? Seriously, I don't know. What is it? I'm going to have to bust out Google.
I'm assuming it's maybe ketchup and mayonnaise or ketchup and mustard. Maybe it's something.
Maybe it's a mixture.
Some combo probably.
See, I'm typing away right now.
I've heard
that's Burger King secret sauce, like it's ketchup and mustard.
Yeah.
I've heard this, and I think
usually the secret sauce actually is like Thousand Island dressing.
Well, no, hold on. According to Heinz, Fancy is simply a USDA designation that producers are allowed to use for marketing of their product meets certain standards. So USA grade fancy tomato ketchup, which possesses a better color consistency, so more color and good, and sweeter flavor. Oh, great! So more sugar and more food coloring.
Yeah, more
nice.
That makes it fancy.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, they're good. Good to know. Okay, so that's basically the McDonald's fancy ketchup packets.
Yeah.
Okay. So then hold on. I guess I'm reading this article here. They add. Okay, they must have specialized tomato concentrate. With red ripe tomatoes. Here's the thing. It's special red ripe tomatoes. They're just tomatoes. Extra stuff, natural flavors, high fructose corn syrup, of course, with corn syrup, double dipping.
Oh,
there, nice.
There you go.
Water, salt, and natural flavors from vegetable sources.
Natural flavors.
Yeah, they're naturally produced in a lab, of course. Nice.
That come naturally.
Because if they tell you unnatural flavor, that's going to really make you want to buy it.
Oh yeah. So okay, question: what's your guys' favorite condiment, John? We got to start with you. What's your favorite condiment?
I don't really have one. Like
you have to gun to your head.
I don't go out. All right, if I have to pick one, what I like to do is if I get fish and chips, I love dipping my fries in the tartar sauce.
Okay, cool. Tartar sauce. That's your favorite condiment. That's cool. That's a good condiment. Okay, Mitch, what do you got? Favorite condiment?
Well, hot sauce doesn't count, does it?
Oh yeah, it does. Totally does.
Anything that to hot sauce, salsa, anything like that.
But which one specifically?
I like Frank's.
Oh man. Okay. All right. That's not good. But all right.
No judging.
best-
No judging.
No judging. But yeah. Okay, Mitch, what's your favorite condiment?
I'm from Kansas City. Barbecue.
Me too, brother. Like mine's actually a hybrid between you guys. My favorite 2 condiments are Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce
I like it.
and Tapatio hot sauce. Tapatio hot sauce is a hot sauce made right in Tijuana, right across the border. It is the best hot sauce on the planet. It has flavor. It's not just so spicy it burns your face off, and it's not so salty that it's disgusting. It has an actual delicious flavor.
That's what I don't like stuff that's just hot for the sake of being hot. It's got to have some flavor.
Yeah, like Louisiana's hot sauce, it's disgusting. It's so salty and like zippy. It's just gross. Or like stuff that's like just like ghost pepper stuff that just burns your face.
Yeah,
you can't enjoy your food.
Yeah.
No, like Tapatio has a good zest. Oh, it's the best. It's the best hot sauce you can buy.
I miss my hot sauces. I can't. As I'm getting older, I'm learning I'm not so invincible.
Stuff will go through you really quick. We've had some poop talk on the episodes before. It's okay.
So, yeah, well,
all bets are off.
That hot sauce is just, I miss it. But I'm Kansas City's known for barbecue, and barbecue sauces. That's how we base things around here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, John and I had a conversation. There's the 3 kinds of barbecue. There's a Texas barbecue, Southern barbecue, and KC barbecue.
Oh yeah.
Memphis. Oh, can't forget Memphis barbecue.
And there's no going wrong. I won't say that.
No,
there's no going wrong. They're good,
but they all have a distinct style.
Yeah.
What's the KC style again? Right? Isn't it like the sweet, sweet smoky one?
Yeah. And it's something that we have a lot of different flavors, of the same
I know my barbecue sauce, bro. That's my favorite.
It's a smorgasbord of choices when I want to have barbecue.
Mm-hmm. That's again, if you know anything about me, and every one of my friends will attest, I go through a big, gigantic jar of barbecue sauce every week and a half. I put it on my pizza. I put it on everything. Like I love barbecue sauce. I put it on everything. Oh man, it's my thing.
My new favorite flavor for chicken wings is mango habanero.
Oh, my mango habanero is very good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's my new favorite right now.
Okay, fair enough. Well, right on. So, Chris, fancy ketchup is just more chemicals and not really fancy in your face.
Don't be fooled by the labels.
Don't be fooled. Marketing, what? Alrighty. Let's see what we got. Time for a few more here. Okay. Ooh. God. I put this in here because there's another energy drink one. Okay. Hi, John and Ted and esteemed guests. Would you rather never play video games again or never drink an energy drink again?
That's easy.
No, it's not. Here's the kicker.
Okay.
They're right there. She goes, the kicker. You're only allowed to have 2 hours of sleep per day, and you have to work an 8-hour shift on an assembly line. Ooh. Sam T. from Santa Cruz, California. That's your job. So you work an 8-hour shift on an assembly line, and you only get 2 hours of sleep a night, and you can't drink any energy. I guess that considers like coffee, anything. Or you can never play video games again. So you could drink energy drinks, but you can... Oh, wow.
I would still forego the energy drink because I don't care, man. I can't see. I'm used to doing stuff with my eyes closed anyway, so from hours, I'm good to go.
But you'll fall asleep though on the assembly line, and you get fired, and then what?
I won't fall asleep.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I found that one tough. Like, man, I don't use a lot of caffeine stuff, but just on an assembly line doing the same thing for 8 hours a day for only 2 hours of sleep, I'm gonna fall asleep within the first 30 seconds. Like, I'm gonna walk in the door and be like, "Oh, let me just fall asleep on the conveyor belt."
There you go.
Mitch, what is your choice?
Well, I don't do caffeine drinks. So, you take away my games, then we're gonna have problems.
Yeah, same. All right,
that's my sanity right there.
Hey, exactly. That's what keeps me awake, right? I'll just have a Game Boy in my pocket.
That's what keeps me going to work for 8 hours on the factory line.
Exactly. That was what I thought. Like, I would rather do the no caffeine and just kind of tough it out and like just try to survive. Let's see. We got a couple. Okay, well, there's some couple Christmas ones. John and Ted, what's your favorite Christmas movie? Carla from Wisconsin.
Easy. Christmas Story.
Okay, good call. That's great. Mitch, what do you got?
National Lampoon's Christmas movie.
Oh, very good. Christmas Vacation. And mine is
Christmas Vacation,
the cartoon version of Dr. Seuss's The Grinch Stole Christmas.
That's a good one. I was just thinking that. I mean, but then again, I mean, when you talk about that, I mean, it's almost like a whole package to talk about the Frosty, the Rudolph.
No, not that one. But those are all the same thing. But this is like the Dr. Seuss one. So I know what you're talking
Grinch.
about.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the Grinch.
Yeah, but I know it because like when you're talking about the Meister Burger or the Frosty and those, those are all the same. But no, this is like the Dr. Seuss Grinch.
Yep.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Yeah,
nice.
That's my jam.
Yep. I was spacing that for a moment.
Yeah. All right, another Christmas one. This is a good one. We can go deep in here. We won't go too deep. What was the best video game present you ever got for Christmas? Daryl S. in Seattle, Washington.
Mega Man 2.
When? How old were you? Do you remember that?
10, maybe?
Okay, nice.
9, 10, I don't know.
Mega Man 2, that was the best video game present you got, right?
That I can recall, yeah.
Nice. Okay. Mitch, what do you got?
So for like about 3 years running, back in the Super Nintendo days, I was each Christmas I was given the brand new Donkey Kong Country game.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So by the third game, I had something to look forward to, obviously. But I mean, for 3 years in a row, I always had that Donkey Kong game for the new new game to play.
Nice.
That's cool. See, for me, growing up as a kid, and even in high school, like early high school, like 9th grade or so, it kind of petered out like sophomore year. I started getting my own stuff as I was working and that stuff. I still got all the stuff I asked for normally if I did, but Christmas became synonymous with video games. That's what it was. Christmas was when I got video games. I got all my systems on Christmas. I got my Nintendo. I got my PlayStation 1. I got my Sega. I got my PS2. All on Christmas. So Christmas and video games every few years were the same. And then there was the Christmases when the systems weren't coming out where it would just be like 15 new games, and that was all I got in a shirt, but that's all I wanted and so it was like the greatest thing ever. And then maybe like, I get a new basketball hoop I got one year and all these cool things on the side, but Christmas and video games were growing up for me. So I remember when I was 4 opening up my NES and just freaking out. But I honestly, when I opened up my PlayStation 1, I almost had a heart attack. But I think the greatest one, I think even my mom would say, when I was 9, I think, and I got the Sega, and I just freaked out, and like I sprinted around the house, jumped over the couch, running with the Sega, went right to my room and started opening it. And Mom's like, "No, we're not done with Christmas." I think that was the most, I would say, just because. But then I was so excited when I got the PS2 and all this stuff. Yeah. So yeah, that was Christmas and video games are one and the same to me. So and hey, look, PS4 Christmas, sweet.
I couldn't disagree with you there.
Yeah, when my son was 5, we got him the DS. I think this DS Lite or something like that, and we messed with him. Like we had him open up the first present, and it was like a Super Mario case for the DS, and we were like, oh, sorry about that, man. We must sorry. And then we're like, oh, hey, here's the present from Graham. She got you a present, and so he opens it up, and it's the DS game. And we were like, oh, she must have meant to buy it for the Wii. Oh, so, we'll have to bring it back. And then he opened up the next thing was the DS. And he was like, is this really it or what? Like, he didn't know what to expect. And we're like, no, you really got the DS, man. He was like, awesome. And
that's really funny. Yeah, actually, last Christmas, my mom really likes Tetris. I actually bought her a Game Boy Advance, like a really custom one with like pink flames on it and everything, with all the old Tetris games on it.
Yeah.
Just so she could have something to play, because she loves like solitaire and card games and puzzle games. And I remember she used to kick me off my Nintendo to play Tetris, and so I got her the original Tetris plus all the new Tetrises on it.
Yeah.
And so on a GBA, I got a really nice GBA. It was really cool, like pristine mint condition with cool like pink flames all over it. It was like custom design. It was nice. So yeah.
My father-in-law likes Tetris too. He's insane with that. He gets over into level 100 or whatever. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, my mom's nuts. I remember when that first came out, my mom would jump on it, and I'd do pretty good. I'd be, I get to level 12, with purple.
Yeah.
And like the heart started going kind of fast. My mom would be like on level 24. I'm like, what? How? Huh? She's like, because she would like play it in my room while I was like sleeping. And she'd like just play it. I'm like, go to sleep. I'm like, mom. Or like, hey, I come home from school. My mom's on my Nintendo. I'm like, Mom, I want to play Mario. No, I'm playing Tetris. Go do some homework. Go play outside.
Why don't you go draw me another one of those pictures?
Yeah, exactly. Right. We have a lot more, but I think let's call that good for email. So yeah, if you want to write into the show, write into JTEXGamecast@RaptorCow.com. And yeah, so every episode we have a closeout segment. This week's is John's games to watch out for. So cool kickstarting campaigns. I think this one here, we have one from Canada. Oh, God.
Oh, here we go.
Woodstock, Canada. I think.
Canada.
Do you have the name, John?
It's Deserted, I believe it was. But I'm going to a little mind blank on what it was about.
Yeah. It's Deserted. It's I'll read the description. It's uncover the secrets of a ravaged planet as you journey into its depths and fight for survival against unknown terrors. Cool. It looks pretty cool. We will link it. It's by Zebic Media. It has a few days to go. Fund it. Check it out. Look at it. See if you think it's cool. They have a cool video. But it is based in Canada, unfortunately. But check it out. We'll put the link in the show. And yeah, so that's it. That's going to do it. Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope everyone's Christmas is fantastic. We'll have one more show before the New Year comes up. We might do a compilation. We might do an actual show. We don't know yet, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, so let's, Mitch, do your final shameless plug on what you got. And then, yeah, who we are. Let's do it.
Guys, come check us out. Fanatics Gaming, www.myfanaticsgaming.com. And as I said earlier, just type in Fanatics Gaming on your search engine and you'll find this top page.
Excellent. Well, thank you for being here. We appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, no worries. And if you guys want to get a hold of us, you can get a hold of us on social media. All of our social media is JTEX Gamecast. That's Twitter, Instagram. Join our Facebook group, John and Ted's Excellent Gamecast group. My personal Twitter is Tedwards44, Tedwards44. John is JNADO7, JNADEAU7. Yeah, you can subscribe to us on iTunes and Stitcher and Google Play and anywhere you can find podcasts. Just subscribe to us, rate us, share it with your friends, and hey, we'd love to have you on if you want to be on too. So go to the podcast website. It's www.RaptorCow.com/JTEXGamecast. Check out the cool stuff we have there, some boss battle stats and episodes all lined up for you. And if you want to email us, go to jtexgamecast@RaptorCow.com. But that's going to do it. And until next week, everyone have a happy Christmas. Next week, see you later.
Game over.